It's Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, the sequel to Bionic Commando Rearmed, which was a remake of the original awesome 1980s Bionic Commando. And while the whole retro remake thing has lost some of its excitement since the original Bionic Commando Rearmed, the coolness of Bionic Commando has not diminished. And while this game is very similar to the original one with some modifications, it stays very true to what makes Bionic Commando awesome. Challenging levels, incredible music, and a required mastery of the bionic arm. Hey, he can jump! He still can't fire upwards, though. I don't know why so many of these 2D characters have a problem with that. It's not that hard, you just look up and shoot. Well, that forces you to use your bionic arm in creative ways, though. And it wouldn't be the game it is if he could fire upwards. So you get a new storyline here, your team's gone missing, bad guy, you're of course, the only guy that can save everyone. Nothing you haven't seen before, but dig that music. It's got that cool retro style while still kicking some fresh new beats. And Bionic Commando Rearmed 2 is by no means made to play through just once. The levels are surprisingly large and packed with hidden things to upgrade your character. If you enjoy the gameplay style, you'll want to play through it a few times to enjoy all that the game has to offer. There's lots of hidden items, and you can play through in a speed run, trying to compete for the fastest time. There's also unlockable challenges, and you can play co-op with a friend. In short, it's similar enough to the old games to appeal to fans of Bionic Commando Rearmed and the original Bionic Commando, while packing subtle changes, new levels, new end bosses, and challenges. As a fan of Bionic Commando Rearmed, I enjoyed this one, it's fun. And while it starts off a bit easy, especially if you're used to playing Bionic Commando games, it does ramp up the challenge and suddenly become frustrating. But never so frustrating that it becomes a chore. Bionic Commando Rearmed 2 forces you to think outside of the box at times, and find new ways to work with the environment, or at least climb around the outside of it. The level design is consistent with this series and pretty much what I would expect, at least from Bionic Commando Rearmed. It certainly doesn't go to great lengths to reinvent itself, but the overall presentation and production value is excellent. The word that I would use to describe the reason this succeeds is consistency. I don't want Bionic Commando to change that much, especially with the 2D games. The 3D one was pretty cool, but when it comes to 2D Bionic Commando style, I'd say they got this one right. Some of the extra stuff like this feels unnecessary, but it hardly detracts or ruins the experience, because a few seconds after this you'll be swinging and shooting again. They did do away with the 2D top-down levels though, but those always were kind of silly. The end bosses look cool and have an amazing amount of impracticality, and require you to swing upon them, grapple, and usually unscrew and then shoot something. I mean, why wouldn't you put a guy in a golf cart inside of a giant robotic spaceship thing? That only makes sense. Bionic Commando Rearmed 2 is a downloadable game for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. We've been watching the PS3 version, which plays well with the PlayStation 3 controller. I'm using the D-pad to actually move him around. It seemed easier that way to aim the bionic arm when you're trying to jump for things. And I do have to give the designers credit for bringing what could have been stale 2D environments to life without getting in the way of traditional 2D style gameplay. The use of color and foreground imagery here with stuff going on in the background is excellent and definitely keeps the game interesting. Hey, who's the 800-ton gorilla in the room? Why, it's Bionic Commando Rearmed 2.